Everyone, this is Dr. Laz from Miami, and I want to first extend my condolences to Beryl's family, in particular his children and his extended family, to all of his close friends, and really all the people whose lives he touched all throughout the world over the past several decades, many decades, in his holy work that he was involved with in Crown Heights and really elsewhere and beyond Crown Heights, certainly. The fact that his shloshim comes right after Lag BaOmer means they have a connection to each other. And I just wanted to share something personal with you, because Lag BaOmer has always given me chizuk when it comes to our own daughter, Devorah Leah, Aleh Shalom, who passed over 15 years ago. And one of the things that I find so inspiring about Lag BaOmer is that the Rashbi himself decreed that this day, the day of his Hilula, of his passing, should be in particular a joyous occasion, to the extent that there's no fasting and no negative type of behaviors. So it's a happy time. And so I've always gotten inspiration from that, and I hope you will as well, that I think that it shows us that there's certainly more to life than what meets the eye. And we know that the neshama is something that lives forever, that's truly the essence of a person. Your personality is sort of your neshama coming out, and that really is the essence of the person that lives forever. So the body is sort of this temporary vehicle, and what that means is that Beryl is still with the family, and in particular with his children and his close loved ones, and really all of his friends, in profound, amazing ways that I'm sure if we would perceive them would impact us in incredible ways. We probably would flip out. We probably couldn't handle it. But it gives me chizuk to know that here from the Rashbi, that decree that his passing was in particular a joyous occasion. So it gives me chizuk, because I feel that that really all of these holy neshamas who are close with us are still with us in these very deep, profound, and meaningful ways. So I wanted just to share with you a few stories about Beryl. We go back a long ways. When we first moved into Crown Heights, shortly afterwards, met Beryl, and we really hit it off right away. I don't want to say we were partners in crime, because that's a negative connotation, but you know what I mean. We were, and we are, kindred spirits, and I always got tremendous chizuk from him. It was always fun to be together. Our times together were filled with lots of laughs, and impacted, I think, both of us in hopefully inspiring ways. Beryl was one of my biggest supporters in terms of Project Cure after the riots in Crown Heights in the early 90s, and was always there for me and always encouraged me to carry on, and that was indeed the right way. And even though we had the Rebbe's bracha and the Rebbe's encouragement, just having a close friend there beside you, and there, not even behind me, patting me on the back, but, you know, don't walk in front of me, don't walk behind me, just walk beside me. And that really, I think, epitomizes Beryl. He just was such a true mensch and a true friend to all of us. And so he always encouraged me, and it kind of, the wilder the activities were, whether from our basketball games or my music group, which was made up of blacks and Jews at the time. Beryl was always there and enjoyed many of our activities together, and always gave me good advice to carry on. I think one of the most amazing things that I'll always remember was our Verbrenggens together. Beryl would hook up with a lot of teen groups, and the teen groups would come into Crown Heights. Very often he would give them a tour of Crown Heights. As you know, that became one of his particular avodas, to bring groups in from all over the world to tour Crown Heights and to kind of get an inside look, not just Crown Heights, but the Hasidic way, the Chabad way of life. And I continue to meet people who tell me that they loved the tour and loved meeting Beryl and loved hearing him speak in his southern accent, the southern drawl. I mean, you just couldn't beat it. And just to know there was a Hasid from Tennessee is awesome. And so we did a lot of wild Verbrenggens together with these teen groups that came in. In particular, it was a youth leader named Woody, and Woody would bring his groups in many times throughout the year, and somehow Beryl would nominate me, Uncle Sam style, to do the Verbrenggens with these teenage groups. And they would very often, we'd start at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night, and very often go to the wee hours of the morning. I would usually have to be escorted home. I was not the designated driver, let's just put it that way. Things never got out of hand, but Baruch Hashem, we always, I think in Rabbi Lipsker style and Dr. Block style from Canada, the Verbrenggens were very profound experiences for all of us involved, and also filled with a lot of Verbrenggen style. So it was a lot of chizuk for everyone, a lot of deep questions, and hopefully we were able to encourage and inspire these teenagers to come closer to Yiddishkeit and closer to Torah and mitzvahs. And never forget one time we had a Verbrengen at my house, and this was with his teenage group, one of Woody's group from New Jersey. And so things got kind of rowdy, and the two of us were dancing on top of the dining room table. And this was maybe around midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, sure enough, as we're dancing on top of the table, and everybody else was kind of around us with their mouths open, thinking the stereotype is that Hasidim are very straight-laced and tend to be perhaps a little bit on the shy side, and all of a sudden it's Lebedik, we're dancing on top of a table. Well, the table breaks in the middle, it collapses, and Beryl and I go plummeting through the break in the table, and end up on the floor with two pieces of this large dining room table. One group holding it on one side, one group of teenagers holding it on the other, and there we are standing in the middle. Well, of course, everybody broke up into hysterical laughter. And then I would say 5 minutes later, all of a sudden the doorbell rings, and it was my better half, my wife Gittel, about to enter the house. So we sobered up real quickly, and I told everybody, quick, just put the dining room table on your lap so it looks like it's a whole table. And sent one of the guys to open up the door, and we put Sforim on the table, and the drinks that had all spilled and the sodas and whatever, we put back on the table real quickly, and so it looked like the table was in one piece again. And Gittel walked in, and she saw everybody. She said hello, and I said, hey, hello, how you doing? And she went into the kitchen, into the back rooms, and we kind of all breathed a sigh of relief, and nobody really laughed out loud, even though we wanted to. Well, I didn't get away with that for too long. As you can imagine, it's tough to fix a dining room table with duct tape, although I tried. They say duct tape can fix anything, but a large dining room table just doesn't work too well. And the next day, Beryl brought his crew over to say goodbye to me. It was a Sunday late morning, and we all took pictures in front of these two large pieces of a dining room table that were now sitting near the garbage in the front of my house. So this was just one of our many escapades together. He was and is an awesome neshama, the real thing, the real deal, honest, sweet, as sincere as anybody could be, a true role model, and is greatly missed by all of us. And I know that Ezrat Hashem, Mashiach will come soon. We'll have the Geula. I know he's making trouble up there in Gan Eden in a good way, rocking the house up there. And I just want to tell everybody, stay strong, stay open, and follow in Beryl's footsteps. Greet everyone with a smile. He was always the first one. And Mashiach